Greetings, this is Tom with BuncombeShinola. My friend Tiger LINDELL TATE was a rock and roll photographer in Texas during the 70s. And we are out in the boonies north of San Antonio to go visit him and talk about his adventures. Join us. Today on Tiger's Tales, part 2 of our 3-part series on him taking photographs of the Ramones, which happened from 1977 to 1979. This is the second year, 1978. Once again, he shot them at Randy's in San Antonio and at the Armadillo in Austin. And this year, at both dates, the opening band was the Runaways, which is extra awesomeness. So you'd say by the end of by the second show you shot them in 77, you're getting to know them a little bit. So clearly at Randy's here, you're at sound check. They're out of uniform. Johnny's got like a sweatshirt or something, right? And you're obviously backstage, hanging around friendly like. You got a picture with Arturo here.
That you don't see too often. So
so they're already feeling pretty familiar with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking to him. He's looking, you know, they spend time looking through my albums, you know. There's pictures that they liked a lot, and I would, when I could, I'd just take it out of the album and give it to him. And this was Vera's, that was her favorite, and she put this in her book. And that's Vera right there next to him. That's awesome. That's one of the best pictures of Dee Dee I know. Yeah. And again, he's looking at the album of photographs you had taken. Actually, he's looking at Pink Floyd.
Right. He's looking at Pink Floyd?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what they were more interested in, these other rock and roll type standard bands, you know, instead of anything else. I mean, these guys were rock and rollers. They weren't punk rock, I think. I think they were just good rockers. At least they were to be. But yeah, this is the one where I really got to know them and stuff and see them. So they got some Rocket to Russia swag. So they're touring on Rocket to Russia right now. Would you say they've seemed a little more seasoned or a little bit more professional from the previous year? Yeah, I would have to say so, because you know they toured a lot. They were always on the road, it seemed like. And luckily we got to see them quite a few times. Was the audience sitting on chairs right in front of the stage again, or this time they were standing up? They're standing up. They got rid of chairs because it was just too dangerous. Was it a notably more raucous show than the first one, or about the same? Well, this was a fun concert. Maybe it's just me because I've been, you know, backstage most of the time. But I really dug this show. I'm not sure we have anything on the ticket that says who opened this show. I don't think they. Oh, of course we know who opened this show. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, we know. So opening this show was the Runaways. So we're going to be talking about the backstage of that. Yeah, amazing backstage pictures of the Runaways. Oh, was she the bass player already? Yeah. I thought she was. Oh, that's right, in '78. So they have the. Bass player. That's the bass player whose name I always forget. Now, this is going to get a little confusing, but 2 years earlier, before he shot the Ramones, Tiger shot the Runaways, opening for Trapeze in 1976 at the Armadillo. That was fun. We got a couple of those pictures over here. So at this point, you know, they're still a little bit 70s, sort of glammy. Yeah. And definitely Joan does not look punk yet necessarily, right? No, she really got that going later. Like when I have a good picture of them where they're walking up or something, yeah. But she's got those eyes. She's giving me the eyes, and boy, she's got great eyes. So the Cherry here, she comes out in like sort of a jumpsuit, right? And then suddenly she's it seems like she's coming back out in blood, a t-shirt and jeans covered in fake blood. So yeah, what was that about? Oh, I forget the song, but she had a blood pack in her mouth or something, and she was cough up blood like Gene Simmons did. I mean, what did Trapeze think of that as their opening act? just cool, or yeah, they were Trapeze, the original Trapeze, and they were fun. They were great actually, because they were back at the Armadillo. That was neat.
So back at so.
There we go.
Yeah. So the Runaways show in 1976 is the source of what we are now referring to in Tigerdom as the Lita Ford problem, which is for whatever reason, this show Lita was wearing these really short Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, well, she'd worn them before. She just didn't realize until I showed her the pictures what they looked like to us.
So you're probably not going to see these on the video, but let's just say that there's a significant amount of familiarity.
One of the most sold pictures I have. I sold more of this than anything. Well, I mean, 8x10s to, you know, small, anything. People bought this a lot.
Well, yeah, but didn't you say, so this is 1976, you meet them again in 1978, opening for the Ramones. And what happens then?
Well, their road guy, their road manager, you know, saw that I was out there out front. Well, no, it would have been, yeah, sound check. Anyway, because he saw that they were looking at my books and stuff. And so he looked, and then he saw the Runaways, you know, and then he saw these pictures, and he says, "Oh man," he totally freaked out, and he had to go. He literally took me by the hand, the arm, and took me backstage to show her. And so, of course, I opened up the books and I show her that, and then her eyes bulged out, and then she said she was burning them, never wearing them again. And I think I saw her, the next time I saw her, I said, you know, something about it. I said I would have paid you for them, $20, and frame them with the picture. She just laughed. She said, no, she burned them the night right after this show. So, yeah.
Did they make any attempt to secure the negatives from you, or?
No.
Oh, that's good. That's good because
I didn't have them with me anyway.
And we still have them.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't. You know, they were just looking at the books.
So yeah, there's some pretty. So, right, you know, it's only 2 years before, but you can still sort of sense that the Runaways are still kind of like mid-70s, normal kind of rock chick look. And then a couple years later, which is this show we're talking about now with the Ramones, I mean, backstage they look like punks. Yeah. And then they go on stage and they got sort of like space hard rock outfits, right?
Right.
So it's an interesting, real quick transition. And of course, the older the older show has this this other bass player who's wearing what is she wearing? It's what is that?
I don't know.
It looks like a white outfit, but it kind of looks like a white,
almost like
negligee nightgown.
Yeah, I don't know. Those pants are pretty cool, I guess.
But yeah, how were they this show? I mean,
they were good.
Did they go over with the sort of like more standard rock audience?
Everybody accepted them. You know, they were fun.
That's cool. Okay, fast forward and back to 1978. So now you're back at Randy's. You've befriended the Ramones, and here indeed are the Runaways, also looking at your photographs from the previous year. That's pretty interesting, and even hanging out with the Ramones.
Right. You could see them where they're sitting together and stuff like that. They were fun, you know. They were pretty cool to talk to. They didn't, you know, they knew I was there for the Ramones. It was a good concert. I had some fun at that.
Pretty packed?
Yeah, surprisingly.
And you could tell, I mean, there's just something about the energy of Randy's, you know, they're just really, they're sweating, they're going for it, the stage.
They like Randy's, that's the thing. See, that's after they played here, that's when the Sex Pistols got it. That's when, you know, Patti Smith, all these people that they heard, that's what made them go to Randy's.
There's great pictures of them just jumping in the air, you know. It's,
oh yeah.
And the angle of I don't know, what do you call those ceiling rain things?
Cheap ceilings.
But it just looks
acoustic
so compellingly awesome.
But yeah, Joey was really good that night. He was really, you could tell. I mean, he was really rocking out with some of these.
Yeah, there's incredible action shots of Joey. That's one you cropped in.
Yeah, this is a great one to make. There's a couple of them that are really good.
Johnny jumping again. You know, I mean, usually he would only do that like once a show. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he's just levitating here, but he's really jumping on some of these.
It's awesome.
For this one? Oh, it keeps going. Okay.
We're going to have to clean these off a little, huh? Hopefully it's just the plastic.
Yeah.
What do you think our chances are of getting this plastic off?
Oh, no problem.
Think so?
Plastic is fine.
It's not going to pull off part of the image?
No. Shouldn't.
But just so many great pictures of Johnny here. Oh, there's the one I thought was cropped. That's it right there, right?
Yeah, that looks alright because he's got the hair really flying around.
Oh, see, this might be part of that group we were talking about. That you might have had a second pass at the prints, maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, let's see, they've gone up this year from $3 to $4.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great show.
So that's so this year is Randy's February 14th. Then I'm pretty sure it's just a day or two later at the Armadillo. That's past Elvis here. Caught Elvis Costello in between. That's cool. Okay, so what we got here is, I think, the shots you took of the show, which were falling out of their pages, so I just took them out. And then we have another Runaways.
Yeah, this is all sound check.
Runaways sound check. So you want to check some of these out, maybe, and then we'll go down.
Yeah, some of these are pretty. Snake Farm.
Oh, that's right. At some point, either this trip or the previous one, they actually stopped at
on the way here.
The famous Snake Farm, which is just north of San Antonio. And in all of the next year or two, you see them wearing these Snake Farm T-shirts all the time. You're like,
that's a good one.
You can still visit and still get those T-shirts.
Yeah, they're even mentioned on their website now. Somebody told them about that, and they mentioned it, and I wrote in that, yeah, I got pictures of it if you want.
These are pretty fun vintage prints.
Tommy in that shirt, he always wore that shirt.
Yeah, Tommy's wearing that shirt like every day, every gig, every year.
Very popular. Yeah, these are some decent shots, actually.
So what was the crowd like for Armadillo the second time? Pretty good?
Better than the first. They were pretty, well, it's just like that first Rush show there. Mm-hmm. They were pretty empty compared to San Antonio, where they had a riot. But Armadillo, not that many people showed up for Rush the first time they played there, which is really kind of crappy. That's a good one.
But the second time?
But the second time, they didn't have like Lou Roney or anything, you know, plugging them. So it's weird. The audiences can be very strange at the Armadillo. But Austin is weird.
So we can't quite remember whether or not there was also 2 sets that night or not. But you're definitely arriving for sound check and hang out backstage again, right?
Yeah.
So at this point, the Runaways are even starting to probably recognize you, right?
Yeah.
So this is the different bass player whose name I cannot remember, but she's so cool.
There's
I
the
can't
picture
remember.
that I was talking about.
Yeah, that picture, that is one of the best pictures you got of the Runaways.
But her with her just something about her eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And right next to that is the famous picture of you next to Joey and Johnny.
Yep.
There's also one of you next to Dee Dee. Was that at this show, or was that?
It was at his room.
That was at his room?
Yeah.
We're looking for that one. Oh, so I thought that's one that one is.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah.
This picture of you with Joey and Johnny is just fantastic. So who was the friend you thought took this one?
I haven't.
You said it was the dude in the striped jacket?
Harvey Morgan. It might have been.
Well, thank you, Harvey, for,
I never have seen
immortalizing your friend in this amazing photograph. You can actually see some of the armadillos and the paint back there, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. The Runaways are signing autographs. Seems like they're having a chill. Again, they look kind of punk for soundcheck, right?
Yeah, no, they're cool. You know, they're punk, but that's just the way they look, I guess.
But then for the show, they're all dudded out.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring up or not. The drummer's name, it's Leslie, right? What the hell is wrong with her face, man? She's got like some weird rash on her chin. Did she like crash on a motorcycle or something? You can see real clear.
I really don't know.
I sort of hope that it's road rash and, you know, not the herpes, you know. You don't want that. You don't want that, dude. You don't want that, you know. What was it? What was the thing?
That's
what were you telling me about?
I had noticed.
The skin condition?
Impetigo?
Impetigo? Maybe it's that.
That's weird. I did not notice that at all.
So yeah, you can see a little bit of it here too. It's around the top lip. In some of the pictures where we brought up the colors, it's really good. So Lita's really got a hot look on here. It's like metal, leather, or whatever jumpsuit. One of the pictures, she's even jumping up, you know.
I had heard that after the show, They stayed in, what's that hotel that's kind of round there in Austin? By the river.
I forget.
35 in the river there. But it's a round hotel. Anyway, they had like the top couple floors or whatever. And they had a bunch of young guys down on the ground, you know, and they were like yelling. I think they were trying to pick up guys. Is what they were.
Heavens to Betsy, no.
I heard that. That they were actually picking up young kids and stuff.
Cool. This bass player, that's a great picture of her, and this is a great tight one of Joan Jett. You know, I mean, it doesn't look like they did any bloodletting this one, right?
No, that was just that one time.
Looks like just a super solid show. You know, I mean, Leslie's dressed in like a cool outfit too.
She's jumping.
Joan is definitely more into her eventual persona here.
Yeah.
She seems like Joan. Yes, there are a lot of pictures, great pictures of Lita Ford.
Yeah, Sandy West.
Sandy West. How can I say Leslie? Sorry.
That's it. That was her name.
Yeah, just real colorful. Real
yeah.
So those three right next to each other.
Now they're jumping.
Yep.
She was good at that.
Great stuff. So, how much did you just hang out with them a little bit at sound check, or did you hang out any further with them? You said you got the one picture with Dee Dee at his room?
Hotel, yeah. After he got his shower and stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. That was weird.
Were they feeling pretty good? I mean, surely, surely with Rocket to Russia out and on a radio.
They were happy. They were getting somewhere.
Optimism.
Yeah. Dee Dee had apparently just bought a house, and he was telling me, you know, how much in love he was with this, you know, Vera and stuff like that. So he bought a house, and they got married not too long after that. But Dee Dee was interesting.
And you say at this point is when you started to befriend Johnny a little more, based on your, let's say. Well,
I heard he was a, you know, staunch right-wing nut, and I don't know how we got in on this subject, but we did. And I told him, yeah, it's kind of weird growing up and being the only, you know, hippie long hair that's for Nixon.
Which you were.
I really was. Yeah, I was a hardcore Nixonite and actually campaigned for him. But he was good about, you know, I forget why we were talking about it, but we were. And when I told him some of the stories about, you know, campaigning for Nixon and things like that, he just, nobody expects anybody with long hair to, you know, be a Republican. Yeah, that's just the way it was.
So after that, he was a
little bit cooler about stuff.
Sweet. So anything else about this set of shows you remember?
Nothing right off the bat hits me.
This is more like February, so probably not as blistering hot, right?
Yeah. Some good shows, though. I mean, they were fun. It's not like, you know, some big show. Like you said, how much were the $4 for the ticket? Shit, you can't go wrong with $4 tickets. Hell, even this one with trapeze, how much is this one?
That was 76 though, so that was probably $3.
Oh, I can't even read it.
Doesn't say.
General admission. It does not say.
All right, man. Let's cut it there. I think we got enough.
Okay.